Hey everyone, this is Tingo welcoming you to yet another Marvel Strike Force Saturday Special. Today's Saturday Special, we are wrapping up Axmen week on the channel, which is astonishing X-Men, Jubilee, Beast, Bishop, Kitty Pryde, and Iceman. So first battle that we'll go into today is going to be Inhumans, Coulson, Silver Surfer. Now, Axmen for War Offense is a pretty versatile team. They are definitely the hard counter for Doc Ock Sinister 6, and that's completely autoable, and it's even punch-upable. But for today, we'll be featuring a couple of other battles in the Saturday Special. And while that runs in the background, I do want to point out what makes Axmen so good. You do have Iceman, who has the ability to put out a ton of slow, which gives you a massive amount of control. That's his ultimate ability that can do that. And then couple that with his special. The special can turn a slow into a stun, so use that judiciously. Jubilee has the ability to blind a substantial amount of time. Her ultimate will also stun, so very helpful there. And of course, Bishop has his special and ultimate coming around seemingly every other turn. So you almost never have to use Bishop's basic attack. And Beast does cleansing, he also does healing, he can put up defense up and he can put up offense up on your team. And Kitty Pryde is the disruptor. She's got the ability to disrupt pretty much anyone. The thing that can happen with Axmen is you can actually start subbing out tunes. And the one that I would suggest getting rid of when you want to put an extra tune in is get rid of Kitty. The other four work very synergistically together, but Kitty is kind of the unnecessary one, especially if you're going for a strange, say, Cosmic Crucible attack or War Offensive attack. I've had a lot of luck putting in Rogue in Kitty Pryde's spot, and that makes Axmen punch very, very much above their weight class, even though they already do that on their own. But Rogue has all of that extra health and all of that protecting ability, which is one thing this team does not have as a protector. And Rogue's special and ultimate are insane with the trauma and the stun. So they do a lot. Plus there's the synergy there, since Rogue is an Axman as well. There are some synergies there, and she works very well with Beast. So keep that in mind. Now what I'd like to talk about is what they're actually built originally for, which is mutant raid lanes in Doom. I have a 620k Axmen team, and they do pretty well in Doom 1. The first two nodes, but they cannot beat the boss. In their current configuration, they cannot beat the boss node. They will end up getting blown away by Doom. They don't have the ability to slow them down enough, ability block them enough, control them enough, and so I end up using a different hybrid team, and I would really love to get my Axmen up to being able to handle those boss nodes. And sadly, we've just moved up to Doom 2. My Axmen do not have a chance in the mutant raid lanes there. So one thing I do want to be very cautious about is saying that they are the definitive raid team. They're supposed to be the definitive raid team, but they're very, very, very touchy. And I don't think they're raid simmable, at least at a 620k power level. My guess is I'm going to have to bring these guys up to gear tier 16, level 85, and get those blue ISOs jacked. One thing I have seen in other content creators is changing everyone over to Skirmisher. And that seems to help because it just keeps stacking the vulnerables, which obviously increases the amount of damage that the opponent is taking. So I will try that out. And I would suggest that. I have seen some very good uses for that in pretty much any scenario. Even in war, it works pretty well. So keep that in mind. And so I will say that what I am planning on doing is cranking these guys up even more. and hoping to be able to punch through the mutant lanes on Doom 2. Now let's talk about what's going on behind me, which is the second battle here. This is against Secret Avengers, Captain Marvel, and Taskmaster. Now, Secret Avengers is a very formidable 3-toon squad. Captain Marvel, very good toon on her own. Taskmaster, very good toon on his own. Taskmaster can do blinding, and of course, as you can see, he managed to do that to me in the very beginning of this attack. I couldn't use Bishop for anything, had to use his basic because he was blinded. Fortunately, Beast does have a cleanse mechanic, so that's very helpful. It didn't cleanse Iceman though, and so I totally wasted his ult because I wasn't paying attention. This happens more often than it should in my war battles, and the reality is I could probably win more war battles if I were to pay more attention to things. But as it turns out, the beast mode, as I call it in this particular attack, really pays off. All the healing, all of the offense up. Beast really does a great job of keeping this team alive while I'm getting established. And I managed to take control of the match, and once Axmen has control of the match, they very rarely yield it. That's what makes them so good, that's what makes them so potent, and that is what they were designed to do in raids. So getting to the point where your Axmen can outweight and get set up their opponents, then they can take control of the match. That's what you really want to do. Now, my big suggestion here is Bishop has a terribly small health pool. He just does. He could be one shot pretty easy, even at gear tier 15. So Bishop is where you're really going to want to focus up because he doesn't have a great health pool, and keeping him around is gigantic to any of your offensive hopes. So keep that in mind. I hope you enjoyed this Axmen week on the channel. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.